Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Overcast. I'm Justin,
And I'm Brooksy.
and together we're bringing you sunshine on a cloudy day. Lots of rain lately, but it's not bringing the cool. It's staying warm,
Mm,
so that
I
that
listen.
just
I
makes
could
it
go.
humid.
I listen. Well, that's the thing is we're dealing with. We have that super El Nino thing that's happening. So I'm not even kidding. It feels like Florida living in San Diego right now. Like it is just hot and humid and miserable. And I'm like, dude, I. Why is rent so high if the weather's so bad right now? Like I hate it so much. It's so bad.
Fun fact, based on context clues I've picked up from listening to Distractible,
Mm.
I think you live about an hour and a half from Markiplier. Just a fun fact
Oh,
for you.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, he lives in the LA-ish area or Orange County, I assume, somewhere around there.
I mean, obviously he's never said, but
Right?
you
Yeah.
know,
No.
no,
Like, or wherever his
that man
PO
has the
box
types of
is.
that man has had to move before because fans have shown up on his doorstep. So like
Oh.
people don't do that shit. That's weird. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think we've lost the plot. But this episode,
Yeah.
we're finally doing Brooksy's idea that he stole from KindaFunny Games. Uh, is that the one? Kind of funny, the Greg Miller
Yeah. It was. It
podcast.
was from Kind of Funny. Yes.
Um, 5 games to describe each other. This has been a long time coming. We were gonna do this when there were still three of us. Now there's only two, but it's fine. We'll do it either way.
Hmm.
Um, Speaking of homework and housekeeping, so for those of you, just a brief little update, and then we'll get into our what we've been up to lately. But for those of you who are listening or plan on listening to Video Game Book Club, there's only one episode, so it's not like not like you've been keeping up with it. Um, but for those of you who enjoyed that first episode and you're ready to hear more and all that, we should have Control out sometime by the end of September. That is the goal,
Hmm.
is to get that one done
Hmm.
next month, and then
Yep.
we're gonna do Quantum Break and then Alan Wake 2, and Control Resonant will be out by that point. I'm gonna take notes when I play it for the first time so that I don't have to replay it. So that'll make it a little bit easier. And then I think we're gonna do a palate cleanser with Soma, and then we're gonna jump into Kingdom Hearts, do that whole franchise, and then Yakuza after that, and then we'll see how we feel about
Hmm.
anything else. Because there
I
are
think we'll be dead by then.
yeah, there'll be so many franchises we could do this with, but I think Yakuza in particular is gonna keep us busy for a while.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so
We could do something light. We could do something light like
BioShock,
oh, what's it called? I was thinking Final Fantasy, but yeah, Bioshock probably.
like Final Fantasy X, if you wanted to do like a standalone, just pick like one game,
No,
like
no, no, no. I'm talking about Final Fantasy, all 30
oh
games.
Jesus Christ. No, I don't know about that. Oh, but so anyways, that's your little update on that. Now, as far as what we've been up to, man, I've had a doozy of a week. Doozy of a couple of weeks
Yeah, you
really since
have.
the last time.
Yeah, you have.
I will say I am no longer working at the sandwich place I have been working at. I have it's a double-edged sword. I have found work in the same industry. But the crazy thing is that like I already found work. Like literally within a week. Technically I found this new job before even quitting that one. Like it was within the time of all everything happening. So very fast turnaround time. Like I put in an application, got a text like 2 hours later, went in for an interview the next day, went in for onboarding 3 days later, paid on
Hmm.
onboarding. Um so yeah. Um the how do I put this? The paraphrased version of this story is basically that I started needing accessibility options because my stuff was acting up, and my now former employer was putting up a huge fuss about it, and to the point where the guy who runs the place had to get involved and have a sit down with me and the head manager, and it was pretty bad. But the real bad thing is that they were using some pretty outdated language in there. Their most famous use, my favorite one to use was the R word. And as a disabled
Yep.
individual, that does not sit right with me. um, you know, never really been a fan anyways. Like, even back in the day to like when other people were saying stuff like, "Oh, that's so gay" as an insult when they didn't like something.
Hmm.
I never partook in that. It always felt beneath me. Like I just, deep
I'm
down
sorry.
I was always a good person deep down, you know.
Yeah, I laugh because when I hear the phrase "that's so gay," like the first thing that comes to my mind is the Hillary Duff commercial from like the early 2000s of somebody saying that and her turning around and be like, "Hey, you don't say that." And just like it was just it was the delivery, like not the message. The message was fine. It was the corny ass delivery
You know what's
of
funny?
it that just like is burned in my head. Like,
You know what's funny is like,
hmm,
you know what's funny is that like I remember that, but that's not the one that comes to my head. The one that comes to my mind is the Wanda
hmm.
Sykes one where she got real vicious with it. You know,
Oh yeah,
she was
yeah. I
like,
forgot. I forgot about that one
she was
entirely.
like, "Hey, you don't put people down as an insult." She's like, "What if I was mad about something?" And I said, "Man, that's so teenage white boy or whatever she said." I couldn't remember, but it's
Yeah.
like, uh,
I mean,
it was good stuff. Um, those commercials were ahead of their time. I uh I both miss and don't miss the 2010s. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I do. I very, very much understand exactly what you're referring to. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. I'll miss you, Harambe.
high
A lot of
highs,
lows.
high highs and low lows. That was
Yeah. Oh God.
uh, but yeah, and that that was one of my complaints, to be honest. I didn't obviously feel comfortable with that, and of course
No.
the people who use these terms took it personal. And it's like
Don't say it. Like I don't. Like
I
I don't.
just
I.
I genuinely see, this is one of those, and this happens a lot in fast food, but especially franchise locations where, since it's franchise and it's privately owned,
Hmm.
there's very little corporate involvement, and
Hmm.
no HR, nothing like that. So
Yep.
workers basically don't have any rights besides like, and even when it comes to the law, it's like they only do what they really have to because they know that they have better lawyers than you. um so it's definitely that kind of place. And it's, when I first before I started there, when they interviewed me, I still remember to this day, this kind of stood out as a red flag to me that made me think, oh, things might get bad here later. Was the head manager said something along the lines of, we're the kind of place where, like, we like to joke around and poke at each other and stuff, so you can't take things too personal or something like that. And I was like, in my mind I was immediately like, oh no. I hope they realize there's a limit to that. you know like, I was like, that's not really, I don't know, so it's a bit like, there's a difference between laid back and like just completely throwing rules and civility out the window. um and I think there they didn't know where that balance was between being lenient, like, i.e. letting people listen to music and stuff, and being
Hmm.
too lenient, i.e. letting people use discriminatory language openly in front of customers.
I
you
mean,
know
we're comparing it though. At the same time, we're comparing apples to nukes. Like like
yeah, yes.
like
Well,
like you and I talked a lot throughout this past week and some change, and I felt terrible. Like I felt terrible because nobody should ever be put into a situation that you've been in for the past. I mean, much longer than just the past week and a half, but just focusing on the past week and a half. I wanted nothing more than for you to have one justice, and secondly a better working environment. And that's really like you weren't asking for more than everyone else. You were just asking to be able to be on the same level playing field as everyone else. And that the fact that it came with such against the grain and just frankly just a resounding nah bro from the owner, like it's just the most wild thing to me. So when you let me know that we had leveled up our sandwich places from one to another. I couldn't be happier for you, and I'm so excited for you. I know that there are different industries long term that you're wanting to be a part of, but nobody should have to handle and suffer through a toxic work environment. And that's what you had. So I'm
Yeah,
super happy for you,
it's
and I'm super proud of you, and I'm really, really, really happy for you.
it's funny you should say that, and, like any good stand-up comedian, there's a punchline to this long-ass story eventually, but
Right, yeah.
oh, look at me, I'm so full of myself. Um, but no, seriously though, there was some definitely concerning behavior from the head manager taking things way too personal. I told them flat out because there was a girl who used to work there who I'm pretty sure had autism. There was a lot of signs from someone who has it
Hmm.
themselves, and I feel like they bullied her. They treated her like she was an annoying burden because she info dumped about her special interests, which is a very autistic thing to do. And that was a red flag for me because I wear a mask in places like that a lot, and that was
Yeah,
one of the signs to me that was like, oh, I can never be my true self here because she did, and look what happened to her. Like it
yeah,
was like they pushed her out, they bullied her out of there, they called her annoying, talked about her behind her back. It was vicious. Um,
yeah.
and you know, uh, and the the head manager they took my list of her and the assistant manager, they took my list of accommodations personal. They called it a list of demands, and they said uh that they felt like I was stabbing them in the back, um and stuff like that. And even after the big boss man came down to meet with me and the head manager, it was still an emotional argument the whole time. I when I brought up the discriminatory language, her defense was that it wasn't directed at me and I wouldn't hear it if I wasn't eavesdropping on people instead of doing my job. And shit like that.
Oh man.
And I'm like, so this is just like it doesn't even matter because Illinois has whistleblower protection laws anyways, but also um outside of that, it's like you're still you're making excuses for people saying shit they shouldn't say no matter how you slice it.
Yeah,
And
and like like by her thought and logic and everything else, like is the team also throwing out the hard R as well? I mean, like, well, it wasn't directed at you, Whitey. Like, I, what? I'm sorry. That's the most abhorrent. Like that is
when I tell
the
you
most diabolical manager thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Like
when
it's
I
just
when I tell
oh my
you
god.
she started getting so frustrated and emotional with this conversation that he had to tell her, calm down, we have customers. Like, and it
Oh
is
my god.
it's insane because like she tried to turn it on me as if this is equivalent, you're gonna love this one. And she said, oh well, why don't you tell him what you said about him? And then she gets up and walks away, and I looked at him and I said, she's referring to how I feel about rich people and business owners. I have a very un unfavorable opinion of like people who don't pay their employees a living wage. Like I was honest. I was like, look, I'm a bit of a socialist. I've said eat the rich, stuff like that. And he got
Mm-hmm.
like super to his to in his defense, he got super transparent with me and he was like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly rich. I'm a franchise owner. There is
Yeah, I
a
was
lot of
like,
red,
yeah,
um
yeah, like a franchise owner, like even like the most successful ones are going to be making, like $1 million, couple $1 million, which sounds like an insane amount of money. But when you're talking about 100th of a billionaire, like, no, Eat the Rich is referring to billionaires,
Well, this
and
is
boy, howdy,
well
am I
because
hungry. Like,
this is what they do is because they say stuff like that about him behind his back, and then they throw you under the bus because that the only reason that we've been conditioned to think that way is because the assistant manager once got on this whole tirade about how no one who works there can afford to pay their bills or whatever, but he's living in a mansion and owns a Tesla and all that, and she's like, look, I can prove it. And she pulled up what she thought was his apartment where or
mansion.
mansion where he lives, which is basically doxing. But she pulled up the address where our paychecks come from, which is like a business run out of a mansion. If you can scroll the
Oh,
camera a little
man.
bit more to the side, you'll see a fucking parking lot. So it's like, um,
Have I said yet how excited and happy I am for you for not being a part of this place? Like, oh my god.
yeah. So this, yeah,
Oh my god. I
these are the
just
kind of things that these places get away with when they're franchise and not corporate. And to be fair, a lot of corporate jobs get away with a lot of shit too, but the fact that they have HR departments means they get away with less. Just by default. They're a little less ballsy about it anyway. Um Granted, some HR departments are there to defend the company, not the people, but that's a whole nother story. Uh
yeah.
yeah, but I will say I take some comfort in the fact that because this place didn't even have like, even though it's a state law, they didn't have like any online portal where we could look at our PTO hours or anything like that. Like everything
Mhm.
was, there was a system where we clocked in on the computers, but that went to the local computer system. Then they had to manually put in our hours. We were putting a lot of trust in these people to make sure that they were getting these numbers right all the time,
Yeah.
and that we're not getting screwed on our paychecks and hours and stuff, because somebody decided to be spiteful or whatever. uh,
Yeah.
and so, everything was very old school and on paper or in an old computer. And I take a lot of solace, a lot of comfort in knowing that this new job, which, just like previously, I'm going to avoid saying the name of for potential safety and legal reasons, but I will say it's another fast food location known for their not circle shaped bovine sandwiches. Uh, they
I was gonna say, I was like, this place. I was gonna be like, are we gonna call this place this L7 weenie place because it's a bit of a square? Like,
yeah, I'll see if people can put it together from that. But what's funny is that when they talked to me about why I was leaving is, I kind of trailed off, and like they told me, they're like, it's fine, you don't have to say anything, we already know. And I'm like, oh, and
yeah,
what does that mean? And they're like, we've had a lot of people who have come from there work here. We've heard all the stories. We have friends who work there. We've heard like they are toxic. Like we know that they're toxic. We've
yeah.
heard how it is. So apparently they have a reputation in this town. uh so that is, I did not know that before I started working there 2 years ago. Um, yeah, it's been busy. I took up a lot of time, but it's a long story,
No,
quite
it was
frankly.
an important one. It was an important one. Totally makes completely and totally makes sense. Um, oh man, what have I been up to for the past couple of weeks? Well,
I will say that for
hmm,
people like us, as forward thinking as we are, this is a very difficult town to live in, let alone find work in. That
oh, I'm sure. I could only imagine. I've learned a fair amount of the area that you're in because one of my clients is looking at building a facility, and that's kind of that area. So I've just north of you and all of that. But um, anyways, no, I past couple of weeks, I really the big thing that's one work has just been work's always busy for me. I will say this past week in particular has been just like unfathomably like think of like peak rush working in a restaurant. and that feeling, that tense, like I gotta get things out as quickly as humanly possible. Um,
I know
but
you've
on a
been I
computer,
know you've been quite
yeah,
busy this week because I know we've been texting
you,
back and forth a bit, and every time you finally you get a chance to text me back quickly, it has this vibe of you've been like underwater this whole time and you just come up like
yeah.
hey Justin, I just want to say this
Yeah,
really quick.
here's all this.
Yeah,
Okay, bye.
and then
Yes,
all
no, it
right, see you
is.
later. Sploosh, back under, you know.
Yes, it has. Like, it's literally like, think of like, for those who've worked in restaurants, like being in the thick of the weeds, that feeling, but like on phone calls and typing as feverishly as you can for 12 hours straight, and then doing random things overnight and even beforehand or over the weekend. Like, yeah, I even had a prep call for a candidate this morning, just to make sure they were good because I just couldn't squeeze in the time yesterday. It's been crazy busy, which is great. It means that we're gonna get more people, more jobs, and we'll bill more, which means my boss is gonna be happier. I won't be upset about it myself either. For me, I'm like, I just want these things off my plate, and I want these positions filled so that my clients are happy and candidates have a cooler position than wherever they're at right now. Like, that's the big thing I really care about. Work's been insane. Speaking of work, though, I got to do something really cool, and that is so about 2 months ago, we did this networking event between people within HR and talent acquisition for different companies in San Diego County, and our owner and president of our agency wasn't able to make it in time. So because he was traveling, and he was like, hey, so Brooks, you got this, right? Like, you can run this, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure, all right, that sounds awesome. And it was at a San Diego Padres game, and like we had a box suite, and like I was in charge of like ordering all the stuff and taking the card, and it was a lot of fun, and I was really successful with it. A lot of people had a lot of fun. We've gotten return business from it, which is really cool. And both of my coworkers that were there with me like sung my praises to the owner, and brought it to me. I was like, dude, I heard you crushed it. And I'm like, I really hoped I did. Like, so that's great to hear. He was like, I've got this other event and I want you to be there. It's a lot of like either my bigwig clients or what could very possibly be new, really big wig clients. And I want you there because if you're able to schmooze people solo, like if you and I are tag teaming, like we could do some really cool things. I'm like, yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm down. And so that was actually last weekend. And when I knew where the suites were for the box office suites, and I had gotten into the stadium. Sam was going to meet me later because she was picking up our Allie from the airport, and I go over to the elevator and show them my ticket. They're like, "Oh, no, no, man, you're in the entertainment suite." And I'm like, "I have no idea what that means." And they're like, "You got to go to the gift shop." Like, gift shop, like the team store, like, okay. And so I go over, and like, yeah, there's a thing that says entertainment suite, and I'm like, the hell is what is this? And I showed them my ticket. They put a wristband, which is the first time I had that done. They like opened this like velvet rope thing, and I kid you not, dude, it is a suite that is literally in the outfield, right in line with first base. Like, I can see into the dugout for the Padres that are probably like maybe 50 yards away from me. I'm on the field, like on
Damn,
the field,
okay.
like I've never, and I don't think I'll ever experience outside of going and doing this stuff with Hamed. I was like, I don't think I'll ever experience something like that. And I looked at him and was like, dude, this is like, these are like this is the nicest suite you can possibly get. And he was like, I really want to, like, I want to impress the people that we're working with. And honestly, we've done really well this year. And a big part of it is because of the things I've been able to accomplish this year. And I'm like, I knew I was doing well. I didn't know I was doing this well. I
Now,
really did. And it was,
when you say big wig clients, are we talking on the level of like Jetson, you're fired,
like,
or are we talking like Reginald, bring me my fancy sitting pillow? You know those types of.
mm, kind of in the
Which
middle, leaning towards, Reginald. Um,
yeah,
and
which level of rich people are you
yeah,
dealing with here?
like of the like, I will say there was at least one person there that the type of illionaire they were leans closer to starting with a B than closer to starting with an M.
Woof.
Um, Yeah, and trust. And I didn't know that. I had no idea about that until towards the end because like I was not given really any instructions. It's just like, hey, just be yourself and like get to know these people, and like when I reach out to them in the future, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I had that conversation with Brooks, like, and he was super cool. And the person that was like the kind of higher up and everything else, we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Comic Con, being transplants coming from other parts of the country to San Diego. Both of us moved during COVID. Like, and we just had a really good conversation. And I spent time with his kid. It was like late teens, and like talking about different places to go on the beach, his favorite spots, my favorite spots. Like, we just had a really great conversation. And he was like, and towards the end, my boss was like, I told you that I had some big wigs, and I was like, yeah, and he was like, the person you been spending the time with, and I'm like, yeah, and I was like, that's the big one, huh? And he goes, yeah, that's the big one, and I'm like, cool, cool. Like, he's a super cool guy. I really like him a lot. I hope we get to work with him because I like him a lot as a person.
There is an episode of Rick and Morty from this season I think you should watch just as a
Mhm.
standalone because I just now realized that it's basically an episode about you, but not. It's funny because it's an episode where Jerry has to smooge some bigwigs from a company with a
Yeah.
marketing idea or whatever, and he's Jerry, so space
Yeah, so he's Jerry. Yeah.
so Space Beth gives him a drug that's basically these worms that eat your worries so you have more confidence, and he ends up taking a few
Yeah.
too
Oh,
many
yeah.
of them and getting really
Hmm.
overconfident, and it works. But it gets crazy. It gets really crazy.
Yeah. I
It's funny.
And that's the thing. I
I
don't
don't
come
think
in like,
I don't think that you took these people on
no, I don't.
on an
I don't
airplane crash and then
yeah.
went swimming naked in a brewery or anything, but
No, 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 no. And that's the thing is like I don't. It's something I come in like super confident or not confident. Like I don't know. I just like finding the good in every person I can possibly come across, and I want to get to know who they are, not what they do, not what their accomplishments are, but like who you are. Like, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you not happy, what do you care about in this world and in this universe and in this life. Those are the conversations I really like having, and just finding common interests that we have. Like, that's what I like, and I'm pretty good at it. And as far as like in a professional setting doing it, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I never thought I'd be in a suite like that. Like, me thinking to myself at 19 years old, living in a 300 square foot studio apartment, working three jobs and going to school, and like, really just working to be able to pay for the tab I was about to have that night at whatever bar I was drinking underage at. Like, to go from that to where I was at, I reflected on what I was there. I was like, it's just wild to think that I've made it as far as I have and haven't burned and crashed and everything else quite yet. But it was good. It was a lot of fun. I had a really great time with it. Um, Otherwise, like, big news is I know that I've talked a lot about the mutual aid group that myself and Sam and Allie have been a part of for about a year. And I am going to say that I am actually going to be formally stepping away from this mutual aid group come the end of this month. We actually have like a small get together in our house. What is it? The day before you and I record our next episode. And I plan on addressing it to some of the people that are going to be there. There's some of the leaders of this mutual aid group, and there's nothing inherently wrong with this organization. It is. I love a lot of people that are a part of it. I think mutual aid work is incredibly important. I think the organization, like the org structure collectively makes things a bit on the disjointed and hard on the communication aspect of it, where we're spinning wheels and burning ourselves out significantly more than it realistically should be.
Ooh, I feel
I've got a
burnout right now.
very,
I feel burnout.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I've got a very limited amount of time between working kind of around the clock. And again, I love what I do. So like, it's not that I mind it or anything like that, but it just, it takes a lot of my own personal time away. Um, I'm married. I have dogs. I have this, and like this podcast is a non-negotiable for me. And for me to spend an additional 20 to 30 plus hours a month on this, like it's just not making a lot of sense with the lack of headway that we're making. And so I'm going to be leaving them at the end of this month. I've already spoken with another. It's a nonprofit as opposed to a mutual aid. The head of this organization, I love her to pieces. She used to be a pretty prominent part of the mutual aid I'm a part of right now. She's kind of stepped away herself for relatively similar reasons, and has been the main person for this group called Lunch at the Park. And what Lunch at the Park does is it's about 10 to 15 different volunteers. They all just kind of take turns where they use the Barrio Logan library and cook nutrient dense vegetarian meals and then hand them out entirely for free at Chicano Park that's here in San Diego. They do it every single Sunday. They show up at 11. They cook for like an hour and a half, package everything up, walk over. It's usually like 50 meals. They're gone within 30, 45 minutes, and that's it. They're just trying to hand out so that way anybody that needs a hot, nutrient dense, fresh meal has the option to be able to have that. And that was one of my favorite aspects of my old mutual aid group. But I'm no longer funding it by myself. I'm splitting it between 10 to 15 people. The workload, it's not just myself or myself and Sam. It's split between, 5 or 6 people each Sunday. And I really like a lot of the people that are part of this group. They're doing things tactfully, and so I'm really excited. I'll be starting with them officially in September. So I'm pretty hyped on that.
Nice.
Yeah, but that honestly, out of all of that, it's not the thing that I really wanted. The thing I was most excited to talk about on this podcast. So
For
for
con
those that are
for
listening,
for context, folks, I've
yeah,
I've been told that something is coming here.
yeah.
So
So I've been listen. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I know I talked with you a handful of days ago or yesterday or something like that, where I'm like, hey, like, don't ask questions or anything like that. Just know that I'm gonna need you to be 100% available for a few days, either in November or December, and to plan accordingly and everything else. You just started with new positions, so being able to make PTO or time off requests and things like that. Um, but I've loved doing this podcast with you, man. Um, I deeply appreciate you as a friend, and I deeply appreciate your outlook on life and your perspectives on things, and just trying to always do the right thing and always try to be the best version of yourself and try to always have other people as a larger priority than yourself, because it's a mentality that I've always had for myself, and it's not every day I get to come across somebody that has such a like-minded approach in life and with those that they surround themselves with. I've gotten to see you really, break into your mold of the socialism mindset, and realizing what the world has to really offer, which is not a whole lot. Um, and you're a genuinely good person, and I think that good people should have good things come to them. I've already run this by Sam, and she was like, "Oh, for Justin? Yeah, absolutely. Say less. I'm so excited for this." Um, I told you November and December, really just to throw the scent off the trail. Um, but personally inviting you out here to California. Um,
Oh,
I am going to be taking care of your flight. I am going to be taking care of all expenses while you're out here. Um, but I personally am looking at having you come out here December 9th and being out here in Southern California until the 12th or 13th. And the main reason why I say that is because there's a pretty cool event that happens at Peacock Theater every year in December.
I think I
That's on
know what that
December
is.
10th. And I am going to be getting you and I tickets to go and see the Game Awards in person, live, and spend a few days with me out here in California.
Holy shit. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's been, here's the thing, man. Work's been really good for me this year. It's allowed me to be able to have Sam and I be completely debt free, get kind of ahead of ourselves, start working on next nest egg and our next projects and everything else. And like I shared at the very beginning, I always think that good people that try to do good things and do right by other people should have good things in their lives. And I know you and I got to spend a little time together during Brian Carissa's wedding and how you and I met each other and all of that fun stuff. And I know you've wanted to come out to California, and I want you out here as well and come and see what I do in our house. And yeah, I want to pick you up from San Diego Airport, and you and I are gonna drive up to LA, and I've already got the hotel already taken care of and everything else. I just
Oh
need to figure
shit.
out flight. I just need to figure out flight details and information to be able to book that stuff for you. Like it's already ready to go. Like I have it already set everything to the side. Really, I just needed you to say yeah. Like that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, what I've never been able to I've never gone to a thing like that before. Oh man, the only downside for me is I've never been on an airplane before and I am terrified of it, but it'll be a new experience.
It'll be fun. Um, Planes are boring. I'm not gonna lie. It's like sitting on a bus. It's just kind of bumpy periodically, and everyone's just quiet. Like that's really that's really it. Um, but yeah, I've already looked. They even have just direct flights to like just straight from there to here. No layovers or anything like that. Like I've already looked at times, dates, all of that stuff. Figured out what it's gonna take. I just needed to figure out times with you and all of that. But yeah, you're gonna come out to California and you're gonna be at the Game Awards this year, man.
That's amazing. Well, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Um, and the reason why I wanted to go second, because I
I
was like,
may
man,
I
it just
I
feels like
may,
a
I may like wait a week or two before I tell my new job. I don't know if I should on the first day be
yeah,
like
no, no, no,
I'm going to
you're
be,
completely yeah.
you know, on the first real day be like, "By the way, my friend bought me a trip to California in December." I'm going to be
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, again, like, what good is money for if you can't use it on the people that you care about? And paying bills. Like that's pretty much it. Like that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's why I wanted to go second, as I was like, it's a cool video game event, and I care about you, and we're about to talk about some games that make us think of each other, and all of that good stuff.
oh yeah. I suppose we should do that then.
Yeah, yeah. And that way you can take this little break to kind of noodle on what I just said. Shall we move on over?
Yeah. All right, everybody, here we are at the topic, and Man, I don't know how we follow up that crazy revelation at the end of the last segment. Every every
Oh man.
That's gonna be the only thing on people's minds for the rest of the episode, or at least mine. Uh,
Yeah, listen, I again that's why I wanted to make sure that I did my life updates last, is because I knew I was gonna catch your tongue there for a second. We would need to go to commercial break for for a quick second.
commercial break, he says. Yeah.
Oh man.
Um, if only. Well, it's funny because I actually have put fake ads in here for jokes before. Uh,
I
but
love it.
but anyways, so as alluded to earlier, the topic of this episode is something inspired by KindaFunny Games. They did this where we are using 5 games to describe each other, and it's not just kind of like, these are the games that make me think of you because these are the games that you like, um
Hmm.
because
Don't
a
get me
lot of
wrong. I have that still embedded in here, but like,
because
there's reason for why I chose them.
I do have that a little bit too. You'll see what I mean when we get there.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I decided, at least on my end, the way that I went about this is I wanted to go with things that more where the theme of the game or certain elements of it align with your personality and ideology and interests and skills is kind of how I went with it. You know,
Okay.
surprisingly, no BioShock in here for that. Um, but I'm gonna go with the top one on my list. I'm just gonna do them in the order I have them. Screw it. The top one on my
Hmm.
list, and you're gonna see there's kind of a running theory here, a running theme here
Okay.
with at least
All
the
right.
first three. Um, the top one on my list that makes me think of you is Disco Elysium, and I will tell you why. Because
Okay.
Disco Elysium is the most political game ever made by far.
I've
It
heard, and it's one of those games that's been in my back catalog for I don't even know how long,
it fully
and I
embraces socialist and communist ideology, and it's about community organizing and anti-establishment messaging. So
oh man, yeah, I really do need to get on that.
it's also
Yeah,
basically
that's
like a luck-based dice roll RPG where you can really fuck up some situations if you don't pass the skill check. So
okay. Okay, yeah,
yes,
no, listen, that makes I mean, it makes complete and total sense on my end.
it's a
Um,
harrowing experience, but I think you'll love it.
Okay, cool. No, I and what's funny is I'm like I'm 100% certain pretty much every game that I have on my list, I know for a fact that you've played. Um,
We're gonna round
and I'm
robin
gonna.
this, by the way, back and
Oh
forth.
yeah, I figured as much. I
Okay,
figured it was my turn to talk about the first game for you and all of that stuff.
yeah.
Um, and I'm gonna say the name of the game, and you're gonna be like, how in the hell does that make you think of me? But my first game is actually Astrobot. Um,
I'm kind of not surprised.
and yeah, I mean,
I wasn't expecting that, but that's not out of left field for me either. I'm like, okay.
okay,
I don't know
okay,
why. I'm curious to hear
yeah.
why, but
So I mean, it like it was kind of the beginning of all of this, right? Like the very first episode I was ever a part of was the Game Awards 2 years ago. And it was the year that Astrobot had won, and I just remember how I felt talking with you about Astrobot and just how much you and I both deeply and passionately love this game and the finer nuances that come along with it. And it made me feel like, oh man, there's nothing I'd rather do right now than word vomit my nerd thoughts with this person thousands of miles away from me. And the game is also just huge in just a very meticulous fashion of the finer details of Easter eggs and lore. And you are somebody who deeply loves Easter eggs and lore, and I can't believe they actually referenced this obscure thing from 20 years ago in this game in 2024 of all places. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
understand it's a
no.
part of PlayStation history, but
When I
to
tell
bring it
you,
up is wild.
Astrobot definitely scratched 1,000 different itches all at once. It
Yeah,
definitely, it's that, like, yeah, all those things that you said, plus like monkey brain, like when number go up, it is got that
yeah,
like
yeah.
Pokemon level kleptomania
Yeah, like
thing.
yeah. And that's the thing is like it's something that like that game brought such a level of attention and detail that the only there's a few people I know that would appreciate that level of attention and detail, and you being one of them makes me think of it. But again, it really just harks back to the fact that the first time you and I had like engaged and talked with each other, you know, at the wedding and everything else, and would give each other like hot takes or whatever on each other's comment sections on Facebook, you know, during that in between time. Um, but like it was that conversation of like I can actually go truly toe to toe with my hyperfixation and it's not weird. and and it just like yeah, so like Astrobot like that man, that was like one of the first things that just instinctively popped to my head for me personally.
Okay. Yeah, that is. See, now you went for a bit of a sentimentality route, and now I'm gonna look like an asshole because I did not.
So, and I will tell you, you're gonna feel like an asshole for probably a fair amount of these things. It's
Damn
like
it!
there's
Oh,
a
but that
thought
just goes to
process
show,
that I
like,
have.
yeah, because my thought, I went for like, I don't know if logical is the right word, but you know what I mean. I went
Almost pragmatic, like yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
this
no, that
is
makes
very
sense.
like these games, like one of these, the next one I'm going to say, here's a perfect example. This video game is one that I know that you like, and if I
Okay.
like, if I think a video game came to life and became a person, you would be the person this game became. uh Honestly, not so much in appearance, but definitely in like personality and like everything else. And that game is Cyberpunk 2077. um
Mm, man, I love me some Johnny Silver, man. Oh
I will
God.
say, like, because as you know from having played it, this is a very anti-establishment, anti-corporation game, and there's a wee bit of hip hop counterculture in there too, which perfectly aligns with some of your favorite music artists, now doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it absolutely. No, you're not wrong
Because
about
I
that
was
in the
like,
slightest bit.
you want to know my thought? You want to know how I got here? This is my thought process. I
Hmm.
was like,
Okay, let me hear.
kneecap and grandson, kneecap and grandson. What's like? Let's see, hip hop counterculture. That's how I got to cyberpunk. I shit you not.
Oh
It started with that.
man, God, I love kneecaps so much. God, I love them so much. But like, I could imagine driving around. I could imagine driving around Night City and just like chanting out "Chalky out, get the Brits out, lad." Like, yeah, no, that's fair. No, I
Tell
can't
me I'm
argue.
wrong. Give you a robot arm and some neon glitter, and you're cyberpunk the human. Like it is
Oh
that
yeah,
game.
no,
That game is you.
I would 100%. That game works on me on so many different levels, not just the RPG aspect or the world aspect, but it's the core
I was thinking more like
it's the core
the
anti-capitalism
yeah,
aspect of
yeah.
it.
Well,
Like
I was also thinking the like gives no fuck rebel attitude as well. You know, like
I mean, well, yeah, like if you're not going to care, why should I? Like um yeah, and so okay. So I'm this is actually like the first one that I had on my list, but I'm like I'm going to
wait,
skip it.
you're like, I'm sorry, I just have to say, you're like, it's cyberpunk. I truly feel, and it's the natural evolution of the Tony Hawk counterculture
Oh,
people back in the day, right? And it makes perfect sense
yeah.
that you were a big fan of those games too, because it's like
Oh
the
yeah.
cyberpunk is like, this is, I know this is like an apples and oranges comparison, but in terms of counterculture styles, like cyberpunk is the Tony Hawk of today, I think. Like that is
Yeah. No,
you
I see what
know?
you're saying of like
Yeah.
counterculture and like against the man kind of a
Yeah.
vibe and everything else. Like, yeah, and I what's funny is I like sometimes I gotta shack up with the man, but I am very much against the man. Like, um, listen, yeah, I got no notes on it. Um,
So what's this number two
so
that used to be number one?
yeah, it was my number one, man. It really was, and it's because of what you said. And I was like, man, like here's the thing, like there's so many different franchises of games that like I'm like, oh, that's a Justin game. Like that is 100% a Justin game. Like when I see that, I don't think of the game, the content, the lore. Like now I'm like, no, that's Justin shit. And like it's so many different things. It's Danganronpa. It's Resident Evil. It's yeah,
my
any
my
remedy verse like there's
Yeah,
so
my
much.
tastes are definitely a hodgepodge. There's definitely a anime and horror overarching theme between a lot of what I
Yeah,
play, but there is such a huge diverse portfolio because I've played shit like Halo, God of War, Assassin's Creed, Final Fantasy, and it jumps back and forth between them. One minute it's Paper Mario or Spyro, the next minute it's Outlast or Soma, you know.
yeah,
They couldn't be more across the spectrum from each other, and I love all of it.
yeah. And so I'm like you you hit me right off the rip, and it is Kingdom Hearts, man. Like there's no way that I can have a conversation with you. Like there's just no way. I'm sorry. Like there's like I used to think of so many different things when I would play any Kingdom Hearts game. There's so many different things within the that I can think of when I'm playing a Kingdom Hearts game. But now, like, if I pick up the sticks and I'm playing any of them, like, I'm just thinking of every conversation you and I have had. I'm not thinking about what's happening on the game. I'm thinking about conversations you and I have had, and
Oh,
the
you're gonna need to fix that when we get to them because you got to
oh, I
remember what
know,
happened.
like trust me when I say I know. I
Now you're gonna go into the first game,
absolutely.
and when you have that first fight with Leon in Traverse Town, all you're gonna hear is me in your ear going, "You know, in the first game, he was voiced by the guy who plays Bones
I
on the
know,
Fox show
dude.
Bones."
I
Like,
know. I know. I know. Like that's the thing is
I
like
think his name is
I
David
don't know.
Boreanaz.
So my question for you is that you and I both know there's I don't know there's over 10 titles for Kingdom Hearts 3 when you include the mobile games, the handheld games, the linear titles. Like there's a crap load of them. So I'm not
Ironically
gonna just
enough, I
say
think there's exactly 13, which is like very
that
thematic
is
for
actually
the
really that
series.
is actually really funny. It's actually really funny. Um, and I don't want to just say Kingdom Hearts the franchise. Like I actually did I did pick a very I did pick a specific game.
Mm.
Um, I'd love to hear from you though. Like which of the games do you think I chose?
It's either Kingdom Hearts 2 or Birth by Sleep.
It is actually neither.
How?
It is actually neither of them. I will tell you, Kingdom Hearts 2 was because I know Birth by Sleep is like is that's that's your shtick, man. I know that. And Kingdom Hearts 2 is the like it's like for me like that's the epitome of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Like that's the magnus opus at least to date, right?
Kingdom Hearts 2,
Um,
best gameplay, Birth by Sleep, best story so
yeah,
far.
and I'm not gonna argue with you on it. But it's actually it is it's probably my excluding two. It's probably my favorite game outside of two. It's actually 358 over 2 days. Um, and a
Okay.
big reason
You
why
know what?
is like I
I
look
will
at
accept that. I thought you were gonna say like Dream Drop Distance or some shit, and I was gonna
no, I
start
just like
arguing
I
with
think
you.
about No, I just think about like you and I's candid conversations that you and I have, and it feels like me being like, as you very eloquently pointed, the counterculture butthole that sticks it to the man. Thinking of myself, I'm like in the footsteps of Axel talking to Roxas while we're both enjoying some delicious blue salted ice cream. Like I think of those things. I think of how how both you and I I'm very an anti-establishment and very against institutions, and I've gotten to watch you go from from being a left individual to like being open and receptive to my perspective and of the world, and being like, and not necessarily like agreeing with what I have to say just blindly or anything like that, but actually questioning and challenging and opening your own personal world view. And you also have to look like this whole premise of the story is like, despite all of the obstacles that could possibly come in their way, like the power of friendship still came through, right? Like despite everything that happened in that game, like the power of friendship between
Yeah, yeah,
Roxas, Axel, and Zion,
that game
like that's
totally
what it
doesn't
is in
have
spite of.
that game totally
Yeah,
doesn't have a super depressing sad ending or anything. Not at
I mean,
all.
I'm ignoring that aspect. Okay, like I'm thinking of the highlights, not the lowlights. Thank you. But we're talking about me being related to Johnny Silverhand. That's not a happy ending or
I know,
anything like
fair,
that. Like,
fair.
so don't know,
I wasn't thinking that deeply on it when I
am
did it
I
though, but
our middle
you're
our middle
you're drawing parallels to
yeah,
the narrative of the game here with
yeah,
real
oh
life, and I'm
yeah.
like, are you trying to
But
say that
I'm
this is
just
all
looking
gonna
at like,
end in tragedy
no,
eventually?
there's no. A question: Are middle fingers allowed on YouTube?
I don't know, probably.
Okay, well there's that for you. Then I'm covering it with my hand.
Uh,
Regardless, but I'm just thinking like they like, despite being quote unquote nobodies, like that aren't able to like have feelings and everything else, like they still form that bond in the relationship in spite of everything. And I think of like the likelihood of you and I being as close as you and I are, me living here in Southern California, you living in Illinois, meeting each other on a random whim. Not really a random whim, it was a wedding of two people that you and I both adore deeply, one being your sister. But like the likelihood of us crossing paths it for whatever reason in Wisconsin, and then just becoming friends on Facebook, and then kind of like just like, like commenting on each other's stuff from here and there to where we are at now, like it's a very unlikely scenario, and that is kind of like then the level of bond that happens is a very unlikely scenario between everyone in 358 over 2 days. There is a point I was getting to it, but you're like, it's a sad ending. I'm like, ignore the sad ending. Like, we're talking about the rise, not the fall, man. Like,
Hey, I gotta do my
so
bits. I gotta do my bits. By the
that's
way,
fair. That's
it's
fair.
it not to be that guy, but it's Shion, by the way. Don't ask me why, but it is. That's what they decided.
Oh, that's right. It is Shion. You're right. I'm sorry. That's right. I couldn't, so because I only focus on Roxas and Axel. I was like, there's the third person that's kind of like, oh, what
Kind
was
of.
their name
No,
again?
she's only the most
Like,
fucking tragic character who's faced with
I
their
know.
own death.
I
Like,
know, I know. Save it for the book club.
yeah.
But
Oh, we will get there.
um, but yeah, like it's just that's why I thought of like, out of all of the games, that's why I thought of 358 over 2 days. Not, I'm not just picking it just out of my butt for no reason.
No, no,
Like,
I get it. You're saying you're Axel, I'm Roxas, and we're eating. This is like us.
yes,
This podcast is our sea salt ice cream. Like,
yes, this podcast is our sea salt ice cream, and I'm the broody anti-establishment person, and just, dunking on capitalism, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, like, so like,
and it's. I mean, that is a pretty solid metaphor. Yeah, like when you are very much though you've firmly planted your feet on like solid ground in terms of like these are my morals, this is my line in the sand and all that.
Yeah.
Axel has a tendency to play both sides to get his own way. You know what I mean? Like
Here's
he's,
the here. Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, like
but he does
if you
it
got to be
for
stuck.
Roxas. It's for Roxas. It's
Exactly.
for his
But that's the
friends.
thing is like we're all in this system. It makes no sense to not use the tools of the system to go against the system. So I understand where Roxas comes in a lot of regards.
Yeah,
Like
if there are
and
two
plus like
characters, if there are two characters in Organization 13 that are very anti the organization they're part of, it's Axel
yeah,
who just cares about his own gains, and Demix who doesn't
yeah,
give a fuck about anything. uh, and well, and I
yeah.
guess you could say the Marluxia and Larxene, since they spent all of Chain of Memories trying to overthrow the organization. So, but
Yeah, no, not wrong, not wrong in the slightest bit.
on that note, though, uh before I go back to one of the political ones, let's do one that's only half political. uh
Okay.
The Witcher 3. This one I feel embraces your love for fantasy, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
Specifically this type of fantasy
yeah.
falls in the, and but it also, there's the moral choice system in the game, and like I
Hmm.
like to think that is it Geralt? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yes,
Geralt,
Geralt of Rivia, the Butcher of
yeah,
Blaviken. Yes.
of Rivia. I was gonna say Riviera of Rivia. He is. He has some pretty hard lines against racism and xenophobia, I would say.
Oh yeah, he does. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Geralt's hot, man. Like I don't even like I'm a fan of the Sapphic homies and like oh man, Geralt's so hot. Like I'm sorry.
so like yeah, that's the main reason why this game made me think of you, is like it is, like I said, it's a mixture of your fantasy love, and there is a lot to love in this game in the fantasy department. But then it's also
Yeah.
just like the narrative and the moral choice system. Because before I decided on The Witcher, weirdly enough, I was actually going to put Mass Effect here specifically because of its karma system with the Paragon and Renegade choices. You know, because if I definitely feel like you're big Paragon vibes in terms of Mass Effect
Yeah.
terms. So,
No, you're good.
um, so an honorable
I'm
mention
laughing
on
over
that. What's that? What are you laughing
I
about?
was saying, I was like, I'm laughing because I have a game on here that I'm actually going to talk about next now, that I chose for borderline identical reasons, identical reasons.
Okay. I didn't really have anything else for that. I didn't make a big speech out of each of them like you did. I don't lie. I just kind of put like the
I'm
reasons
sorry.
why.
No,
No,
I'm
don't
an
be sorry.
emotional
I feel
gush.
like
Like,
you put more work into this than me, it seems.
nah, I don't know. No, I'm just a gushy sucker, man. Like I really am. I act all hard, but I'm nougat in the middle, man. I'm all soft. Like,
Look,
um,
I tried really hard here, but the way I connect the dots isn't the most conventional, you know?
I mean,
Like
here's the thing. You and I are both neurodivergent, but there's a reason why it's called a spectrum. You and I are just on
yeah.
opposite sides. So, like that's
And
all it is.
this
Um,
episode is definitely exemplifying the difference.
yeah,
Here.
sure is. So I want to piggyback off and be like, yeah, but same for you. But
Okay.
I went with Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Oh, the
And
Veilguard
a,
specifically.
the Veilguard specifically, and a big reason why because I don't get me wrong, I love Origins and I love to. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of Inquisition, but that's neither here nor there. Um,
Inquisition is
I know
only good
that's
if you play as a female elf in Romance Solus, because then the DLC is worth it.
I've heard,
Yeah.
yeah. But no, like a big reason is like there is a reward system that's in Veilguard. There is a karma system where people liking things or don't liking things, and like needing to do right by certain people to be able to have them continue being in your party or like work against the grain on you. But like this game really rewards and investing in your companions and your community. You are someone that really likes to invest in other people and that the people that you surround yourself with. And that's what makes me automatically like think of Dragon Age. And the reason why I say specifically Veilguard is I knew when I started seeing you just what's a nice way? I'm not even gonna say a nice way. Shit posting on crappy people on the internet and just dogging on people that were being buttholes for it being quote unquote woke slop because they what we just can't have a trans character in a game. Like this is the most abhorrent nonsense on the planet. And I was watching you like go toe to toe with people online. I'm like, yeah, no. Justin's a real one, and like you equally share that same sentiment and love of fantasy. And so like I when I think of fantasy games for you, like there's a myriad that come up for me. Um but Veilguard is just like the one that like just like immediately popped into my head that I'm like this
Oh,
game has a lot to do with collective advocacy of things that have to do with solidarity movements and socialism. And Solus's arc is like a whole cautionary tale. And I know it's something you personally really appreciate is the foreboding aspect of it. There's a lot that goes into it, not just like, oh yeah, you like this game. Like there's a reason why like I picked specifically the Veilguard. Because
it's
of all of those
funny.
different aspects.
It's funny too that for me specifically that you picked the most whimsical and Disney-fied of the Dragon Age games, the one that is
Yeah, and like,
high
can you
fantasy.
fault me for that?
No, no, I literally meant to say, I literally meant to ask you at the beginning. It's because of the hair, isn't it? Like that's what I
Oh,
was
I
gonna
mean,
say.
it doesn't, it doesn't help your case. I can tell you that much. I gotta get closer to the mic just to make sure you hear that part. Like,
Yeah, no, I definitely, out of all the Dragon Age games, I definitely give the vibes of that one. Um, it's funny too because like I chose like a dark fantasy for you, and you chose a whimsical high fantasy for me, and boy, if that ain't the truth, like.
I mean, but like that's the thing. It's like it's not just like you like this game and like I know you did. So like here it is. Like no, like there's thought process that went into every one that I had put on here. The last one I'm gonna have. Like oh man, I can't wait to I
So
can't
what you're
wait to
saying
talk
is
about that
I'm a
one.
young Jim Carrey in the making, but without the
A
weird
hundred
like,
percent, man. Yeah,
like
you got all the best years ahead of you, man. Like, come
oh,
on.
yeah. Um, uh, no, but seriously, that yeah, yeah, I can see. I will say Dragon Age Origins is my favorite of the series, and to this day, I still think
Mhm.
it's the best one objectively. I
I
think
would
it's a
agree with you on that. Like, but I wasn't going off of what's the
no,
best
I
Dragon
know.
Age. It was like, what is a game that makes me think of Justin and
I,
playing
I
Veilguard like
definitely
100%.
I definitely I can yeah, I see that. I cannot argue that one at all. I can have some fun with the Kingdom Hearts thing because I can have fun with anything you slap Kingdom Hearts
Right.
on. So,
Of course.
but this and mostly I was just doing bits and giving you shit. But this one, like, I have no counters. I have no jokes. This is actually almost too accurate, to be honest. Uh, kind of hit the nail on the head with that one. All right,
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
I'm gonna save the funny one for last. Uh
Okay, cool. Me too.
and for the next one I'm gonna tell you this is number 4 is Deus Ex. I didn't pick a specific one, I just said Deus Ex. So
Okay.
I guess go with whatever
What's
one
funny
you
is
want.
I actually have never played Deus Ex. I've heard really great things about it. I've never gotten.
I've
It's just
I've
one of those games. Like
I've dabbled in them in a bit. I've dabbled in them a bit, but this one is leaning into the reason I chose this one. Um for you specifically is because a big running theme of these games is conspiracy theories and like shadowy global behind the scenes organizations doing shadowy shit, government cover-ups, and a big and in the game you are fighting against tyranny. So there's that too.
I mean, listen, you get a couple drinks on me and you mention a specific country with me, I got opinions. Like you're not you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're
Like
not wrong. Like
there was
what am I gonna say? No? Like
but yeah, but Deus Ex, yeah, like that is like the main overarching themes of those games is big evil shadowy government conspiracy theories, you know, cover-ups, behind the scenes stuff like
Mhm.
Illuminati puppet masters type shit. You know,
Oh man,
it is kind
Illuminati.
of sci-fi, but you have a newfound appreciation
Yeah,
for that now.
I
So
do have a newfound appreciation. I do need to get onto Mass Effect at some. I have so many games I have to play. It's not even funny.
you know what?
I have so
Put a
many
pin in
games.
Mass Effect. Maybe we'll do a book club down the line. There's
Oh,
a
that's true, and I have it now. So, okay,
number
so yeah, I'm
4.
gonna go into my more serious one before I go into my funny one. Um, this is another certified Justin Banger. This is another game that like I know not only do you love, I also know you've I actually went and did some homework just to make sure I wasn't crazy in this. I also know you've platinumed this game before. Um, and it's a long one. It's a long game. And that is
Oh,
Persona 5, man.
yeah.
Um,
You know what
I
though? This one,
and
I think I know why.
so let me before I say my piece and all of that. Why do you think I chose Persona 5? I'm curious.
Oh, this one's easy. It's basically Robin Hood meets Inception. Literally, the story of this game is about a group of underdogs gaining superpowers and then going inside the minds of evil people and forcibly changing their hearts so they confess their wrongdoings and like turn themselves
Yeah,
in. It is a liberal's wet dream in video game form.
it is. It absolutely is. And I mean, you also got to think like this
Did
game,
I
like
did I
the
nail it? Is
whole
that the reason?
it was
Is
a huge huge aspect of it because like yeah, you're right. Like a lot of what this game is saying is essentially to do the right thing. It's going to cost you, but you do it anyways. And like that mindset is something that I think that you personally embody of like, hey, like we just talked about like the whole thing with from one restaurant to another restaurant is like, you know, having these conversations with leadership and having a potential gap and all these like these are things that may hurt but like you're gonna do them anyways because they're the right thing for you and to speak up and show a voice and like you also like you know I feel like I can spoil ish some things because the game's been out for so long and I'm sure you've
Yeah, if
probably done a
only I
spoiler
could
cast at
rip
some
off a
point
mask
like
and summon a giant monster to knock
well and
people
so
out.
like
Like,
well, because I'm also thinking like the ultimate baddie of this whole thing is apathy, and you are anything but apathetic. Like, you know, you're the like I wasn't the one that
you know what's
proposed
funny?
a.
Apathy is actually like legitimately a disease that people suffer in
Yeah.
Persona 3. In Persona 3
Oh,
as
really? I
part of
didn't
the
know
side
that.
effect. Yeah. Yeah, it's because of a side effect of the midnight hour. People that get
Yeah,
attacked by shadows suffer what's known as apathy syndrome. So it's funny that you said that
yeah,
because apathy is actually a theme of Persona 3. It's not a theme of Persona
yeah. But
5,
like,
but it
you
is.
know, like you're the antithesis of apathy. Like not just in like your like like your self-proclaimed wacky cartoonish personality, but like I wasn't the person that came up with the idea of talking about and giving a spotlight and empowering Black voices in media during February. That wasn't me. That was you. That was you that came up with that idea. That was not a Brooksy original or anything like that. And like, like you work as in this podcast and whatever iteration, whether it's been a trio, a duo, additional guests, or anything like that, your role's always been the confidant. Like that's what it
whatever
is. You
that
put others
whatever that
before
clusterfuck of
like
15 people was on your first episode.
yeah, right. Like, but that's the thing is you act as a confidant. Like you put everyone's interest before your own. You show up for other people. You always have a positive outlook. And like that, if that doesn't scream Joker, like I don't know what does. And like, yeah, of course, I'm also going to talk about the neurodivergent. I do think it's a little funny, haha, of like, having to mask and everything else. Like, there's a lot of layers that come along. It's not just like,
Look,
oh, you love this game. Like, there's
Persona
there's a lot of
Persona
reasons why I
is
look at it.
Persona is great, but it's not exactly subtle. It's very on the nose.
No, it is it's very direct. And if anybody's spent more than 30 seconds on your own Facebook profile, so are you. Like,
Yeah.
so, um, You
but
know,
like
so
in a
like,
good,
yeah,
but
like
like in a good way
in a
because
good way.
I'm out
In
here
a good way.
advocating
Yes,
for good things.
100%. 100%. So like that's why I have Persona as my number 4.
No, that definitely makes sense, and Persona 5 especially is probably the one. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
eh,
I wasn't gonna pick Persona 3 Persona. Like yeah, like
yeah, no, that one, I mean, Persona 3 does have a great horror vibe, but that game is all about death, and that's not exactly my vibe. Persona 5 is the rebel, the heist, they literally
yeah.
call themselves the Phantom Thieves, which is fucking dope, by the way. Great name. Um, like, tell me that ain't some Zorro shit right there.
No,
Like,
no, you're
it's
not
like,
wrong. Not wrong
um,
at all.
and literally one of their personas is Zorro. So like I said, it's not subtle at all.
Yeah, no, I know. 100%.
But it is yeah, it is perfect. And I do love how, you know, cartoonishly truly evil a lot of the villains are, so that there's not really any gray area. But the
Yeah,
game
you
at the
explain
same
like
time though, the game actually does have a few philosophical arguments about like the morality behind forcibly changing people's hearts rather than them, you know what I mean? The I mean, it's a discussion that it doesn't really take a side on. It just kind of leaves it lingering because at the end of the day, you're still the heroes and you still beat the bad guys. So it
yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not like condemning your actions, but it does throw that argument out there so that like fucking pretentious YouTubers can have debates about it. You know, like that's what it's for. It really does though. It starts asking that there are those moments where they have some self-reflection and they're like, is it really right what we're doing though? Like I know that these people are bad and we're taking them down and that's a good thing, but like when you think about it, what we're doing is actually kind of fucked up. Like we're going into these people's brains
Yeah.
and and forcibly changing who they are. Like that is
Yeah.
like and,
Well, you know, these
and then
listen, you can't make an omelet without cracking a couple eggs. I'm sorry. Like,
right, and by eggs we mean when you think about it, when you really think about it, it's basically a magic lobotomy. Like it is,
kinda.
it really is. It just changes their more. You turn off their bad, like their evil receptor, and they just go all good and remorseful and turn themselves into the cops. I love that game though. God, it is so good. That was a perfect choice. That was you nailed that one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, I want to hear your funny one so I can get my funny one out too.
Okay, so this one is oh god, this is me being lazy and funny, truly, but
Okay.
It's Nintendogs. Nintendogs.
What? What? Okay.
The Nintendo games
I was.
where you take
There's
care of
so many
dogs.
different things. Yeah, no, I know. I own Nintendogs. That was one of
Look,
the first
look,
DS games I got. Like,
I will tell you that it was between this and Cooking Mama, but I kind of felt like dogs was more important to you
I
than
mean,
cooking.
yeah. Well,
So
I fair enough.
you're the dog guy.
I am.
You
I
always
love.
have a dog. Your your presence on this show very early. You've had a few unfortunate dog incidents since you've been on the show. There is like people definitely remember you for dog related reasons.
Yeah,
You
that's
are
fair.
the dog guy.
My bad, listeners. Didn't mean to bum people out, but
No,
like, you
no,
know,
no, no.
it's not my
That's
fault
not
they
what I.
died. Like,
No, no. That's and I don't mean it like that. Obviously, it's just in terms of like
yeah. No, you're
it's
good. No, you're good. Listen,
like
I have a. I
for
know I've
me
shown you
like
the
people
art.
know I'm the cat guy. You're the dog guy. Like it's very
That's fair. No. Super fair. Oh
and
man.
they have a lot of your kinds of dogs on the Nintendo games because it's usually
They
like
do. Yeah.
smaller ones, so they're easier to
It's
take
all,
care
yeah,
of.
it's all the weird ones, pugs and Frenchies and such. Yeah, that's fair. Corgis. Um, and then I got Fitz, who's an asshole, but I love him. All right. So my last one. And you're gonna be like, what? When I say it, but just hear me out, okay? It's Psychonauts.
Okay.
Psychonauts is a game that I think of, okay? And like you have to think like the whole premise of this game is just like the weird kids finding each other at camp. And if this podcast is not the weird kids hanging out with one another while at camp. Like I don't know what this podcast really is. At like I don't just look at it that, but like the whole like underlying tone of the game is really being able to understand the importance and distinction between power that is used for empathy versus power that is used for control. And that is something that is like a huge, massive point for Raz throughout from the very beginning through the very end,
Yeah.
as he's understanding what the purpose of the Psychonauts really is. Um, and uh and so when you look at it in that frame, and you look at it in that mindset, like you are somebody that understands like and has a massive drive of wanting, like, understanding that the powers that may be will always exist, but wanting to make sure that whoever is in that position is using power based off of empathy for others, not just to be able to not just to be able to control. And like this game is deeply rooted in empathy in itself. Like you don't just say nice things to people just for like actual pleasantries and this, that, and the other. Like you say it because you actually care. And that's a huge focal point. And I'm sorry, it also has some weird ass humor, just like you do, like of just like weird ass humor. Like there's very few people that walk around and think that the milkman scene is hilarious, but I know you do, and I know I do. like, but my milk is delicious. Like, I, and so like when I'm like thinking, I'm like, Justin's a weird cat. And I'm a weird cat myself. Like, what's a weird fucking game? And I'm like, Psychonauts. It's heavily embedded in empathy, and Justin's a very empathetic person himself, and tries to understand where people are coming from in the most objective way possible. And what is if there one of the most objective ways is to not metaphorically but literally go into somebody's mind, to be able to fully understand how somebody ticks, and that's something that feels like describes you yourself.
This that's I love this. I just want to point out, by the way, though, that's two games that you use to describe me that involve you going inside people's brains and manipulating them. And I'm just like,
Oh
what exactly are we trying to say here?
no, and that's the thing is like
are
this
you
is not.
saying
You're not.
are you
I'm
saying
not
I
saying
have
that
a
you're trying to control people.
are you saying I have a good
But
future as a hypnotist? Or
I think so. I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You better
no,
open a palm reading shop soon.
he's saying
Um,
he's saying that I have good morals now, but like but I'm one of those people that has the potential to become a jigsaw level criminal mastermind if pushed in the wrong direction. I
but
think
you
that's what
choose not to, and that's why we love you, Justin. Like,
he's just saying that so
and
he doesn't
also,
he's just saying that so he doesn't end
yeah,
up in a trap. It's okay, Brooksy. Only bad people go in the trap. Unlike the
that's right.
actual
And
unlike the actual
yeah,
jigsaw, this shit would be saved for people who
yeah,
actually deserve it, not people who called into work sick. you know.
yeah.
Yeah, that guy
Like,
is
but that's
I
the
love
thing
those
is
movies,
like,
but he's a pretentious like like
yeah, and again, like I wasn't trying to go with back to, and I honestly, I like me looking at it, like I'm looking at the tone and messaging, not the literal aspect of jumping into people's minds, and I just so happen to pick two games that back to
but
back that were jumping into people's minds.
I would be lying if I said I didn't wish I could do what they do in Persona 5 to some people, honestly.
Yeah, and that's like, and but it's the moral level of tact that you have that resonates a lot in Persona 5 as well as in Psychonauts. But Psychonauts is essentially, if you really look at it, Persona 5 is really just like the cool, sleek cousin of Psychonauts, which is like the weird fucking oddball cousin. Like they're kind of similar concepts if you really if you really think about it. And now that
Persona
I'm really
5
thinking about it,
Persona 5 is the crime jazz of video games. Like
oh man, I actually listened to there's an artist named Solterra that did a cover of one of the songs from Persona 5. I actually have it on one of my playlists I listen to all the time. But yeah, yeah, so those are the games that make me think of you, man. Is Psychonauts, Persona 5, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, Astrobot, And why am I drawing a blank on my?
The list that you've been physically reading off of.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been like deleting things so I don't reread things. And now I'm like, oh, oopsies. Um, but no, that's my list. Is I've got Persona 5, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Psychonauts, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, and now I'm forgetting one of the other ones. Holy crap!
Astrobot.
I'm just gonna
Astrobot.
just Astrobot.
Astrobot.
Oh my goodness, Astrobot.
That's okay.
It's a
That'll
long
be the
name.
one. And
Yeah.
again, for you, that was Disco Elysium, Deus Ex, Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, and the 10 Dogs.
Oh god, I love it. I love it, man.
I
Well,
I had to do a weird one to throw you off. It
no,
just
you're all good. No, I appreciate it. I'm a dog lover. I actually had that game. I used to play the crap out of it. I hope my Nintendo dog is doing okay
you
wherever they
know
are.
what a
Um,
perfect by the way, because like the fact that I put Nintendo Dogs on the list for you is the perfect example of why you put Psychonauts on the list for me. When you think about it.
yeah,
You mentioned
yeah,
weird humor. There you go. That's the one.
yeah. Like, and that's what it is. Like, Psychonauts is like, and if anybody has not played Psychonauts, like, just look up Milkman scene and don't look up anything else. And that's like a good idea of Psychonauts. Like, it's just
Also though,
weird, but I love it.
do yourselves a huge favor and look up the Jack Black musical performance scene from Psychonauts 2. It is some trippy shit.
Ooh, yeah. Um, but anyways, that was fun, man. I know that this one has been kind of a long one in the works, but I'm glad that you and I finally got to sit down and do this.
A long time coming, but yep, we finally did. Alrighty, well, we have a media corner to do, a short but sweet one this week. I say we get on
Yep,
over to it.
let's do it.
All right, everybody, here we are at the media corner, the part of the show reserved for news, reviews, recommendations, and sometimes previews. And in this episode, we've only got one thing for you both, and then we're gonna have so I've got a game review, he's got a movie review, and then at the end we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the news that's been coming out of D3. Um, but so I finally finished recording my Let's Play for Aphelion, a game that was released months ago, and I've been kind of taking slowly. But I finally finished recording it. It was it was a roller coaster. So the basic setup is, and I feel like so many sci-fi stories are doing this. And I don't know why they keep repeating the same premise because it's not like we're going to learn from it, but it's another one of those stories where oopsie, Earth is no longer habitable because we did the bad. So now we have to
Yep.
find a new planet to terraform. But uh-oh, we get there and find out it's not friendly. um so,
Mm.
so I will say that I like that stories like this, they don't just go full on like ooga booga aliens, they're doing like a whole different vibe here.
Hmm.
And so this planet, and there's actually kind of an interesting twist at the end of the game that I won't spoil that kind of turns the whole thing on its head if I interpreted it correctly. It's kind of weird, to be honest. But so the game starts with the two characters you play as, Ari and Thomas, I want to say their names are,
Hmm.
and they've been on this space station together for a while, and you know as some people might do when they're left alone together for long periods of time, they have relations. And the game basically begins with them regretting having these relations. And,
Hmm.
you get a little bit of character development here about how they feel and stuff. And then smash cut to us crash landing on the planet. The landing did not go as corrected. The game opens with this big ass, like, Uncharted style climbing set piece sequence where shit's falling apart around you and, like, you're going through this. So the game has two different things running simultaneously because they were separated in the crash. The ship, it fell
Hmm.
apart, pieces are everywhere. It's scattered across a large area. Um, so both of them survive the crash, but one of them gets injured. So Ariane, she does not get injured, so she is the runner, the climber. A lot of her sections of gameplay involve you um climbing, basically climbing, balancing on stuff, very Uncharted coded gameplay in that regard. But then there's also, and it's, a lot of like grappling hook, all that, like you're literally like running back and forth across the wall to get the momentum to do the jump, like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some stealth sections against this game's main antagonist, which I'll explain in a second. But then when you're playing as Thomas, he was injured in the crash, so he can't do all the climbing and stuff like that. And his oxygen tank was also damaged, so he's got a different mechanic. His mechanic is racing against the clock more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different parts playing as him where you have to hook up to these oxygen tanks before your oxygen runs out, and you have like a limited range to go with it, and you have to make sure once you reach the end of that range, when you detach, that you get to the next one before your oxygen runs out or you'll die. Now I will say,
Mm-hmm.
to their credit, this is a don't nod game, by the way. So think original Life is Strange, Vampire, and Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. And there are
Got it.
some very minor, like, this feels like this does feel like a natural evolution of some of those blueprints, but I will say in a lot of regards, this actually feels like a step back from Banishers, not forward, in my opinion. I think Banishers is a much better game, quite frankly. There are some similarities here, though. The dual protagonist thing, for one thing, was a thing in Banishers, except that they were always traveling together. It was literally you and the ghost of your dead wife attached to you. And the dual protagonist
Mm-hmm.
thing came in terms of gameplay. Like, only he could kill some monsters and only she could kill other monsters, so you had to constantly switch between them in combat. This is not that. This is switching between the characters at key moments in the story, like as part of the story. Like you don't choose.
Mm-hmm.
It's linear. Um I will say though, Thomas's parts of the story involve a lot of like going inside, because there were people here before us and we didn't know that apparently, but there was another expedition crew here before us. They did not survive. And a lot of Thomas's parts are
Mm.
interesting because he's inside these facilities, finding their bodies, listening to their audio logs, getting lore about the stuff that happened before he got here. And that's really cool. But then you play as Ariane, and I will tell you the threat in this game is basically, so this entire planet is made of snow and ice. It's just covered in ice, but there's a source, because where there's ice, there's water. So they think water means we can terraform, right? So
Right.
so there is a source somewhere, and basically what they were doing is they were heating up the planet to melt the snow so that they could make water out of it. The people that came here before us. So basically,
Mm.
they get to this new planet to terraform, and their idea to make it inhabitable is let's fast track global warming. you know, uh, so you basically find out that there are these microscopic creatures not nanobots, but something to that degree called nanocids or something like that, that live in the snow, like it's a like that make up the planet. So technically
Mm-hmm.
the snow is sentient. And they create this giant worm-like creature that basically hunts you down at certain points. So you have to do these, and I like stealth. A lot of people know I love stealth. These are some of the most
Mm-hmm.
tedious and obnoxious stealth sections I've ever been through in any game.
Ugh.
Unfortunately, it is, and it's not entirely. I don't know if it's because I played this on the Series S, so it's the worst version of the game or whatnot. The mechanics are extremely clunky. They're not like I'm telling you. Okay, so you know how like early Assassin's Creed games, the climbing mechanics were very touchy. Like sometimes you would just jump in the complete wrong direction, or you just wouldn't grab the shit you're clearly looking at, or you know what I mean. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was very. This game does that shit. It does like the
Okay.
weird glitchy jumping and climbing mechanics. The jumping animations are really weird. like early 2010s video game jumping mechanics, so like it's not entirely like accurate all the time. And sneaking around the thing isn't like that difficult, and there are things you can do to distract it and all that, which is great, but sometimes it's completely arbitrary. I think the game glitches. Like, I swear there are times where, to give you an example, it comes after you if you make too much noise. It can't see you. There are parts where there are parts where I was sneaking because I was crouched. I was sneaking and I was trying to take a shortcut. I guess the game wanted me to make the wide turn and go the long way around because I tried to, like, cut through like anyone would. And I hit a ledge, like a tiny little ledge, just a little bump in the rock. And she, walking over this ledge, kind of did this glitchy thing where she like did like the fucking Skyrim thing where she like slid off the rock and like
Mm.
landed the half inch down as if she actually fell. So she did like a oof thing, and it heard that and came after me and killed me because of that, me trying to walk over a fucking 2-inch bump on the ground that made her have a fall from a cliff and make sound mechanic reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's buggy is the problem
Yeah.
in that regard. And the bugginess makes the stealth very obnoxious and the climbing very obnoxious. So needless to say, I I enjoyed her parts when it was like running, like there's some really good chase scenes in her parts I like, where it's
Hmm.
kind of like those runner games where she's automatically running and all you got to do is move the stick back and forth to avoid obstacles, or there's parts where you're like sliding down ice slides and avoiding like icicles shooting up out of the ground at you and shit. That stuff's fun. There are some moments where you have to walk slowly among ice that's cracking underneath you, and if you move too fast, you'll fall through and die, and it's like really tense. But a lot of the climbing and stealth parts on Ariane's side of the game, it made me dread going back to her, especially when you're on Thomas's side, where you're getting all the cool story shit and all the cool lore shit over there.
Hmm.
I will say though, I did go because there are accessibility options. I went in and I turned off. You can turn off some of the mechanics, like the dying from running out of oxygen mechanic. I turned that off because I felt
Mm.
it was getting in the way of me truly being able to explore these areas. Um. So, and I wanted to feel like I could explore these areas as him without feeling under pressure with the timer constantly beeping at me. So, um there's also like when you're climbing as her, you have to hit the X or square button at the right time when you make bigger jumps to do like what's called a perfect grab. There's even achievement for doing so many of them. You In the accessibility options, you can turn on always make perfect grabs automatically so you don't have to do those extra button prompts, see, which
Hmm.
I did because the climbing is already a chore to begin with. So, um that being said, though, like there's a lot of I really like the twist at the end, which I said I won't spoil. I had a feeling I knew where this game was going, and I was right about how it ended for one character, but I was wrong about how it ended overall, and I'm kind of glad that I was. I was expecting
Hmm.
something a lot more sad. Um, but I mean, it's a little open ended, but it's kind of like you can draw a conclusion from it. It's not like ambiguous. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so story I mostly like. Gameplay I'm very half and half on. Overall, I would say this is a 7 out of 10 game. I don't it's not going in the top 10. I didn't hate it. Um
Yeah.
if
I'm
I
surprised you have it at a 7 out of 10. Just based off, I was like, man, is he? I was thinking you were going to give it around a 6 or so.
I will say, I mean, I will say that the Thomas side of the game is doing a lot of heavy lifting to maintain that 7. There is
Okay.
enough good over there that I was truly invested in. Like I said, this game was a roller coaster because I loved how it opened. It was very excited with the crash and all that. But then it
Yeah.
here we are like fucking 2.5 hours later. I've been climbing through these snowy mountains forever and nothing has happened in the game, like story wise, and I need something to fucking happen. I'm losing my mind climbing
Fair.
the mountains, and then finally something happens, and I went from being invested to bored to invested to bored to invested to fucking frustrated by the end. So and that was with the final boss encounter is just like one huge long stealth segment where you have to go to 3 different things and deactivate them in an area and then run back to the safe zone like you're playing tag on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
playground, you know? And it was it was a very tedious final encounter, and the last, like, part of the game, the last level where you're going through the caves and avoiding the thing is so long, it overstays its welcome.
Mm,
There is a point where I was like, I am ready to be done. I enjoyed most of this game, but this final boss encounter is really testing my patience. And then they save themselves with a really cool plot twist at the end too. So it is, like I said, it was a roller coaster of ups and downs. um,
yeah.
you know, mid highs and frustrating lows. So that's why it hits a 7, because to me a 7 is a C grade on the report card, which it means mid. That's your average
Yeah.
right there. So
Yeah, I guess the reason why I'm sitting over here and I'm like, man, like I had given, Mafia the Old Country a 7 out of 10, and you and I both chuckled of like it's the most perfect
okay,
7 out of 10 game.
just to be clear, and like I know I've said this before, ratings are nuanced
I
for
know.
me.
I
It's
know, I know, I know they
it's
are.
yeah,
That's why I was over
those
here
are the
like, how
ratings
did he
on their
land on a
own
seven?
metrics. To be clear, there are good 7s and bad 7s. Mafia is a good 7. This is a bad 7. I'll put it that
Fair
way.
enough.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, super, super fair.
Mafia is one of those perfectly fine games that has the blueprints of so much potential. There's so much
Yeah,
more, like, it's more good than bad. It just doesn't do enough to reach a higher threshold. Whereas this game, I guess that's the comparison you could give. Mafia gets a 7 as a compliment. It just doesn't go higher because it doesn't like reach those exemplary heights. It doesn't go above and beyond. It's a perfectly fine game. There's nothing wrong with it.
yeah,
It's just not going to blow you away. Whereas this game gets a 7 as a punishment. This is like, because there are
that's fair.
because if I had, this is why 7. If I rated, the story would be an 8 and the gameplay would be like a 5. So I landed at a 7. It would be, I think the actual middle ground would be a 6.5, but I'm being a teensy bit generous. So,
That's fair.
you know. And the other thing is, because this game has a black female protagonist, I don't want to give grifters any fire. So 7 it
Yeah,
is. You know.
fair enough.
Uh it is unfortunate that her parts of the game just happen to be the fucking boring, broken, tedious ones. It has nothing to do with the character. As a character, I actually really like her. She's a great character. Her gameplay sucks. It is like her parts of the game are by far the most boring parts of the game. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it is just a lot of climbing and her talking to herself about how much this sucks. So, and
makes sense to me.
mild puzzle solving. Like follow the blue line to the thing and hold the A button down. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah, makes.
what do you have for us? Clearly that one's
Yeah,
not clearly that one's not going in the top 10 this year. That's not a top 10
I mean,
worthy 7.
fair. No, I mean this is definitely going to be in my top 10 for movies this year.
Oh,
Um, I'm going to go ahead and say this. And I think this is actually going to be I think this is going to be a first for me in the entirety of me being on this podcast. This is gonna be a very biased review. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is I never come into reviews biased or anything like that. But I'm here to talk about the brand new, as of yesterday, released movie called Nimrods. This is a movie that's been on my watch list for a long time. It got shown at a movie festival sometime last year. I think it was Toronto Festival. But Nimrods is written and produced and featuring one of my absolute favorite artists of all time, Green Day. And it's
okay.
the name. Yeah, the name Nimrods is a pun off of their album Nimrod that came out back in the mid 90s. Um, Again, I want to preface and really say that I am a massive diehard Green Day fan, and I have been my entire life. I remember going to elementary school and my mom playing, Dookie.
You and a counterculture band? No way.
I know, right? Like that's like, yeah, me growing up listening to the anti-establishment music, like, oh, what, like,
You know what's funny about
um,
that? You know what's funny about that though?
mm,
I listened to Gorillaz, and Gorillaz is literally a counterculture band too. Like
yeah, and like,
their whole vibe in their first album was to be like anti-pop. Like that was their
yeah,
like
like
yeah.
I remember, like, I mean, I grew up being in the car with my mom listening to, Dookie or Nimrod or Insomniac or 39 slash Smooth Out Slappy Hours, Kerplunk. Like, that's what I grew up listening to. And, like, when I say I know, I'd probably confidently say I know about 80% of their entire discography by heart. Like, I truly, genuinely mean that. I think, like, outside, like, Father of All, Mother Effers, like, that's the only album I actually don't really know all that well, because that album sucks. I'm not gonna lie. But even Saviors, the more recent album that came out 2 years ago, like, I know, I think all but like two songs fully by heart on there. I love this. I love this group, and they have created a comedy movie, and it is a coming of age film. The film, and I want people to just go and watch this, especially if you're a Green Day fan. Oh my God, please, for the love of God, go and watch this movie. Um, but the whole premise of it is it's these three kids that are in high school around the age of 17 that are in a crappy little local pop punk band that met Green Day and are that were invited to play and open for Green Day in
Woo.
LA on New Year's Eve. And they live in Missouri, Kansas City, and the whole movie is essentially their entire jaunt from trying to make it from Kansas City all the way to LA, and all of the hilarity that fully ensues into it. Like, it's comfort soup for me on multiple levels, because not only is it heavily embedded with one of, if like, arguably like my longest standing favorite band of all time. Like, I know I talked a lot about the Devil Wears Prada in the music episode that you and I did, but like, realistically, like, Green Day's been there with me my entire life, and I love them deeply and wholeheartedly. Um, you add in that comfort soup, and this movie, the story of it almost is like tit for tat the same story as one of my favorite, like, comfort nostalgia movies, which is called Grind. It's this like really crappy skating movie from the early 2000s. It's got the most early 2000s soundtrack. You've got every single iconic skater humanly possible during that time period that's in this movie. And like, the story in that is like almost beat for beat, just like, instead of somebody trying to make it in skating, it's somebody trying to make it in a pop punk band. Like, you just swap out that concept and they're almost the same movie. And I mean that in the biggest compliment possible, because like, when I'm in the blues and I'm feeling bad about life or myself or like whatever it is, and I want something that's just gonna make me feel like all cozy and warm on the inside, I put on Grind. Like, that is my movie. That and Grandma's Boy. Those are like my two favorite, like, comfort movies. Um, and this movie is that, but
You
it's
know, you could
injected with Green Day.
you could just put on Hot Rod and get both of those vibes at the same time.
I love Hot Rod so much. Such a good movie. But like, this movie honestly has like such an incredible cast of people that you'll personally recognize. The like it's the trio. Two of the kids that are a part of this trio I had never seen or heard of before, but I recognized the main, like the front person for it. And it's I was like, this kid looks familiar. I just don't know what. I had to look it up later. You've seen the movie Black Phone, right?
Yes.
The main kid that's in that movie, it's the same kid. And I was like, oh, that's super cool. Like, good for
Okay.
him for still doing stuff. His mom is Jenna Fisher, who plays Pam Beasley in The Office. One of the kids of the trio's mom is Angela Kinsey, who plays Angela in The Office. So you've got like a little like kind of Office vibe reunion going in it. Fred Armisen has a cameo in it for a good minute, and his character is hilarious. Bobby
Okay.
Lee has a cameo in it. His character is hilarious. Sean Gunn has a cameo in the movie, and his character is hilarious. Like,
Wow. Okay.
it's got a pretty solid cast in the movie, but it's like,
James
I don't go
James
in.
Gunn's brother getting more roles outside of Guardians.
Yeah, like seriously, like I was like right, good for him, right? And then naturally, of course, you see Green Day in the movie as well, which is awesome. I would say like literally, not metaphorically, literally 90% of the soundtrack to this movie is just Green Day songs, and I love that they do a lot of things like From Dookie, like Basket Case and
Is
Long Beat,
Green Day
like
playing
things of that nature.
themselves in the movie, or are they?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
okay.
Green Day is playing themselves. Green Day is
Okay.
reprising the role of Green Day. Uh, and yeah. Um, and it's I don't know, it's just like it's stupid and it's silly and it's campy and it's corny, but like all in the right ways. It literally felt like I was pulling a just random hidden gem vault movie from slightly over 20 years ago in the early 2000s. Like that's what it felt like watching this movie, but it wasn't like gross where it had moments that like you look back at movies from 20 years ago and you're like, ugh, I can't believe we thought that stuff was kind of funny back then. It kind of removes that aspect from it, and like I
uh
just yeah, like like just like kind of like you and I talking about like the Hillary Duff nonsense earlier, of like how like the phrases like that were fine 20 years ago, they're not fine these days. It's essentially kind of that same vibe of movie. They just removed all of like the problematic things out of it. I loved it, man. I loved it. I also and I actually didn't even realize it until halfway through recording. Wasn't placed, but you know what, it's here. There's a band that I really love, called The Paradox, and I saw them 2 years or not. I saw them last year at Warp Tour, and then I saw them again this year at Warp Tour. Last year, they had Travis Barker from Blink 182 come out on stage and play a song on the drums that he collabed with them on originally. This year, they had the frontman from Sum 41 come out and do Fat Lip together, which is really cool. And like, I love this group. It's this group of kids from Atlanta. They were in the movie, dude. They were in the movie and they played a
oh,
song in the
damn.
movie, and like I like freaked out. But like I literally have, like, for those that are watching on YouTube, like on my chair that I have behind me, I have my Paradox t-shirt I picked up from Warp Tour. And like I don't know, it's just like it was cool to see them like introducing kind of the new face of pop punk in and injecting it into this movie. And the band that is in the movie is called the Analog Dogs, but Green Day calls them the Anal OG Dogs. Um, and I love it. It's so funny. The songs that the Anal OG Dogs have in the movie, they were all written and recorded by Billy Joe Armstrong, the frontman of Green Day's son, which I just thought was like a really cool added touch. You could definitely tell in the crowd, everyone that was there, because like it had a very limited release. There was less than 1,000 screens it was on. I was fortunate enough to have. I had to drive quite a while to go and see it in theater. Normally I can go like 10 minutes from me or 20 minutes, but like I had to drive like 40 minutes to go see this movie in San Diego. Um, and you could tell everyone that was in the theater room, all big diehard Green Day fans, which was super cool. And like I would say my favorite moment in the theaters. Normally I hate I hate when people like talk or interact or anything like that during movies. Like it bothers me
God,
because I'm
yeah.
like we all spent money to be here, and like
Yes, thank you.
why are you dogging why are
Get
you
the
dogging on something that I spent money and effort and
right.
time to come here? Like, why are you talking or
And while we're at it,
cracking
get
jokes
the
or
hell off
like
your phone too. We can all see the light, and
exactly
it's
like
distracting from the movie.
exactly. But there was one moment that that there's a hidden gem of a song from back in the olden days from Green Day called "Dominated Love Slave." It's a hilarious song, um, and there's a point that song is playing in it and in a specific type of format that the crowd that was in the theater, like over half of the crowd, including myself, was singing along to the chorus, and it was awesome. It was the funniest thing, and I just like it was good vibes. It was a good crowd. I loved it, man. I had a great time with it. Like this is when I again I understand that this movie realistically should be scored like a 7 out of 10 or something like that. This is the one time I'm going to overrule my own personal rule of keeping things as pragmatic as possible because I don't care. It was a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I don't care. Hate me if you want. Like, if I was being rational, it's probably a 7. I don't care. For me personally, for Brooksy, that was a 10 out of 10 movie. It was a 10 out of 10 experience. I am I'm looking at a 10:15 a.m. screening tomorrow and trying to coax Sam to go seeing it again with me again 2 times in the same weekend because I love that movie that much and I had that much
Damn.
fun. And if you are a Green Day fan, if you enjoy counterculture comedy movies of the early 2000s, like don't sleep on this one for the love of all. It's going to be my comfort movie. Green Day,
and
shout
and
out to
then
them being
when they release the sing along version, you'll be there for that too.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. And again, shout out to Green Day because they're big on physical media, Sony. And they've already said that there's going to be a physical release format of this movie. Um, day one purchase. Day one purchase. I will be there. It's going to be releasing sometime in October. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I love this movie. I'm so happy I got to see it in theaters, and we'll probably go see it at least one more time in theaters.
I am glad to hear it. Um,
Thanks.
yes.
Ed.
But before we end here, real quick, D3, the big old Disney Expo, has been going on lately, and a
Oh,
few pieces of news came out of that. Um, and I just wanted to go over some of them real quickly. Some big ones. I think one of the biggest things here is that Kingdom Hearts 4 has gotten like 2 trailers in 2 days. One of them was just a teaser, and then today they put out like an extended version of the same trailer. And who boy, there is a lot to dig into there,
oh yeah, there's.
especially for people like me who know the entire lore of that series, in mobile games included, because there is some mobile game shit in this game. I can tell you that much. Uh,
Listen,
there's
I just can't believe we actually got a release window. Like
next
I
year, like holiday
late
season of
2027. Yep.
2027. Yeah.
And I
So
what's funny is
I
Sam was
feel like
next to me.
I feel like that's
Hmm.
intentional to get it because Tetsuya Nomura actually came out and said that he prefers physical media too. So I think that
Yeah.
is,
I think they're trying to push it so it's
yeah.
on a physical format before Sony decides to be a bunch of buttholes.
Well, based on the
No, what I was
trailer
going
that we saw, it does seem like they have a lot done. Honestly, like
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I
No, I'm so excited. Can I tell you something? I
yeah.
was late. I literally I had just gotten home from seeing Nimrods, and I was laying in bed, and I just like literally just opened TikTok, and the first thing that comes up is Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What the hell is happening? And I'm watching, I'm like freaking out and everything else, and I see the 2027, and I'm like literally like jumping up and down in bed, and Sam was like, "Oh no, here we go again," because she and I have been together since 2017, so she got to see me see the release window for Kingdom
Oh,
Hearts 3.
yep. Yeah.
She's been there before, right? Like it's like Vietnam. It's like war flashbacks for her because we waited 13 years between 2 and 3, and fortunately, we only had to wait what 8 years this go around. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Everyone
But
says we waited 13 years between 2 and 3, but they tend to forget the extremely
I
lore
know,
important Birth by Sleep and Dream Drop Distance and
I know,
358
I'm
Days that all came
aware,
out in between those.
I know that, but we're talking about a mainline main console game, and you and I both know that. You and I both know that.
Yes, and we also know
But
anyone who went straight from 2 to 3 had no idea what the fuck was happening either.
yeah, you
So,
right though. Yeah, you right though. But no, what I was gonna say is, as soon as I saw that, Sam looked at me and she was like, "So you gonna try to poach that from Justin next year during you guys' fantasy team draft and all of that?" I was like, "No." Well, it depends. It depends if during the Game Awards, if we get a 2027 window for The Witcher 4, he is safe. If I do not, so it's a flip of the coin. Who's getting Kingdom Hearts 4 on their team?
yeah, well, I would be careful too, though, because Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't go down as well as everyone thought it would. But I think a big part of that was too many people went straight from 2 to 3 and didn't know what the fuck was happening. That's kind of the.
Yeah,
There is. Kingdom Hearts 3 is also a bit handholdy and floaty in the combat department, if
yeah,
I'm being fair, but it's not. There's that game has grown on me over time. I know a lot of people are disappointed
yeah,
with it. My disappointments had a lot more to do with the fact that they pulled a Walking Dead, and rather than wrapping up the current story, they just planted the seeds for an ongoing but they just left a bunch of threads hanging to keep the shit going longer,
yep,
like
yep.
here now here's the seeds planted for 30 more spin-offs. I'm actually kind of glad that they only did one spin-off and then went straight to Kingdom Hearts 4 this time. That is
Yeah, I agree.
you know and the mobile game has like 20 minutes, or not mobile, the rhythm game has like 20 minutes of important scenes, and that's about it. So um uh so yeah, it is, but I think this game has, I don't know, depending, I will have to see what happens in this game, and we'll
Hmm.
have a lot to talk about when we do our video game book club for the Kingdom Hearts series, but I I have thoughts about whether or not they'll be able to keep going after this one. I have a feeling this might, especially so close on the heels of Kingdom Hearts 3, this might be the finale, I think.
Yeah,
I know that they wanted to do a whole nother saga, but to be truthful, and we're in that too. They're doing like an MCU thing. Kingdom Hearts is in phase 2 right now, which started with the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, but the majority
yeah,
of phase 2 has been portrayed through mobile games and a rhythm game and DLC. So it hasn't had like a full proper game yet.
yeah.
And so I don't know. Just to be clear, for those who don't know, Phase 1 of Kingdom Hearts, everything from Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 is known as the Dark Seeker Saga or the Xehanort Saga. Um, just like for Marvel, it was the Infinity Saga. Now for Kingdom Hearts, we're in what's known as the Lost Master arc, is where we are. So, in real time, a lot of reasons for
Yeah.
that. A lot of reasons for that tying into the fucking mobile games. So, um, I mean, there's a movie too that explains some of it, but it's fine. Um, but I think the thing I'm most excited for, or the thing that I don't know about most excited, well, we're getting a world based on Coco, so we have like one world confirmation. That's
Hmm.
for sure. Like just like Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 did this thing where a lot of the worlds in that game, unlike previous games, Kingdom Hearts 3 had scenes that looks like they just ripped them straight out of the movies and green screen Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and like I'm talking Tangled, Frozen, um, uh, well, those were the ones that followed the movie of Pirates 3. Those were the ones that followed the movie plot for their worlds. Um, and then some of the others had original stories, but still, like the new animation style and all that perfectly matched. And I think, um, from what we saw in this trailer, they're doing the same with the Coco world. Like this is literally just like
Mhm.
the story of the movie with Sora green screened into it, you know. And I'm kind of happy with that because it seems like they're taking the whole world order thing that they introduced in the first game more seriously now. Like you're not supposed to interfere with the events of these worlds. You're supposed to maintain the world order and all that. And Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts 3 basically did that by fucking sidelining them for parts of the movies that they weren't there for. You know, like
Yeah.
the Frozen world in Kingdom Hearts 3 literally throws them off a mountain 3 times so that they're not there for important parts of the movie. Uh like
Yeah.
so it is so I mean I get it. I just hope that Sora doesn't get that sideline now. Knowing what I know from Kingdom Hearts 3 and knowing what's going on with Sora right now, it is surprising to me that he's in a Disney world, but it's not surprising considering the type of world it is. Um what I was wondering though is how are they gonna do like the like I thought that we were gonna do a thing. I had a theory where on Sora's side we were gonna be going through like Final Fantasy style worlds, and on Donald and Goofy's side we were gonna be going through Disney worlds. And I thought it was gonna be like Mickey in the place of Sora with Donald and Goofy, but we are actually getting fully ass separate things. Mickey has his own shit going on. He's in Skella Ed Kayam doing research and jumping into books and playing with origami. Like that is some
Yeah, I know.
there's some
I
crazy
it's
stuff
so
going on there.
wild to see Paper Mario Mickey edition. Like
I know.
it's
It
it's
reminds me
wild.
of the Plucky Squire, actually, like the
A
perspective
little bit,
shifts and all
yeah.
that. And then we have Donald and Goofy. We get to play for the first time in series history, if you don't count the 358 days multiplayer, we get to play as Donald and Goofy natively, without mods, without hacks, in as part of the game itself. And it looks like when you're playing as them, you can swap between Donald or Goofy on the fly. And it's just I'm like, so the two of them can hold their own without Sora now, which is pretty impressive, honestly. Um so yeah, they threw, and I love how even in the trailer Mickey says, "Oh boy, this is a lot of new information." like, like, oh boy, they're getting
Sure
self-aware.
is.
These games are getting self-aware again. There's literally a part in Kingdom Hearts 3 where they all get together and Axel is there and they're all going over the like basically everything that's happened throughout the history of the series. And Axel's like, oh boy, everybody knows each other, and Ventus looks like Roxas, or is it Roxas that looks like Ventus? And it's like, and and this thing's happening, that thing. He's like, I'm just saying, it's a lot to get memorized. I love how self-aware the series has grown. Uh, so anyways, though, me gushing about Kingdom Hearts, though, I'm just like you. I'm super glad that it's coming sooner than I thought. I thought we were going to be waiting to like
Yeah.
2028 at least.
I honestly, I truthfully, and this is just the jaded aspect of thinking of like a numbered title that was on main consoles. Um, I thought we were going to be hitting like 2030. In all honesty, I genuinely thought we were going to be like 2030
That
for it.
means we're still getting this on current consoles too, which is like,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Like, and I will be there on day one, and I look forward to it.
Oh yeah, that is. And come to think of it, though, it would be the first Kingdom Hearts game natively made for new consoles because Kingdom Hearts 3 was a PS4 game.
Yeah, I have a PS4. I have a PS4 version, like the what's it called? Collector's edition, Steelbook edition, Steelbook edition.
So, so real quickly, some of the other news that came out. Speaking of Coco, there's a sequel coming, Coco 2. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember I think it was like 2028 is the release window for that. Um, and he's a teenager now. The main character, Miguel, I think his name was in that movie. Um, so he's a teenager now. I don't know anything about what the plot's gonna be. Uh, quite honestly, not yet, anyways. Also, a couple bits of Marvel news. They showed like the trailer for I haven't watched it yet, but there's a trailer out for Vision Quest, which is the MCU TV show about Vision. And apparently Ultron is
Hmm.
coming back in this. And Ultron is going to have a human form too. Story-wise, I don't know why. Budgetary reasons, I can only imagine, because this is a TV show. They can't have him in CGI robot form the whole time. It'll just like kill the budget. um,
Fair
and
enough. Yeah,
it is James Spader coming back, I believe, to do him again.
I think so.
So, um, and we're getting an X-Men movie as well. And I can never remember her name, and it's really hard to pronounce, anyways. But the girl from Obsession is going to play Rogue in this movie. Um,
That was really cool to see that.
yeah, Sadie
Good
Sink will
for
be.
her too.
Yeah, I could see it. I could honestly see it. Um, let's see. Incredibles 3 is coming June 16th, 2028, with the children taking central focus in this movie
Okay.
as the main characters. Zootopia 3 was formally announced, is actively in the works. A live action remake of Tangled they're working on. Um,
Okay.
some Star Wars stuff you don't care about, but a season 2 of Ahsoka and another show called Star Wars Starfighter. Uh,
Oh, that's the one that's got what's his face in it?
Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's
Ryan
going to be in
Gosling.
it.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yep, directed by Sean Levy. Um, there is a Pixar-style animated film starring Kieran Culkin coming called Clay, November 2028. And Pixar's doing a ghost-focused movie called Ghost Street, also coming in 2028, which sounds pretty cool. And a season 3 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians is coming to Disney Plus November 20th of this year. These were the big things to come of there. Oh, and I also forgot to mention for Kingdom Hearts is getting an anime series on Disney Plus as well. It is a series. It is not following the plot of the games, so it won't be. Unfortunately, it won't be an easy way for people to get the story of the games just by watching the anime. No, this is a spin off inspired by the games. It's a completely original story. My theory is that it's going to cover the story of the canceled mobile game Missing Link, because there are characters in Kingdom Hearts 4 from that canceled game. So that is my theory. That is going to cover the story of that. And you will get
Okay.
to see Missing Link takes place back when Scala Ed Kaim was up and operational. That's the big white city where the final boss battle of Kingdom Hearts 3 takes place. It is
Hmm.
where Xehanort and Ericus grew up. So I'm excited to see what that anime series is, honestly. There's been
Yeah,
rumors of
I am
a
too.
Kingdom Hearts TV show for a long time, but that's my theory. Any of these things, what's got you the most, besides Kingdom Hearts, a lot of that other stuff, like those different Disney movies and whatnot coming, and Marvel stuff, what's got you the most excited?
Mm. Lizzie McGuire coming to Dreamlight Valley. No, I'm kidding. Although although that is cool, and that is actually a very true thing.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, it was one of the things I had come across.
I shouldn't be surprised, though. I mean, they put Ariana Grande in a Final Fantasy mobile game, so.
Can I tell you honestly? It's I don't even want to say it's a guilty pleasure. It's just a show that I was introduced to our household from Allie's nieces and nephews. I am a sucker for Bluey. Bluey's a sick show. It really is. Like if you ever just like need like something like
Bluey is pretty
this is real
solid.
heartwarming.
I actually admit it.
The
I have the platinum in the Bluey video game on PlayStation.
That's fair. I've beaten the Bluey video game. I was sad how short it was. I was like, I really wanted this. I don't know what I was expecting because this is intended for like preschool and younger, but like I wasn't expecting a Souls-like game, but I was expecting a little bit more. Like,
Well, did you find all the
Blue-
hats? You know.
No, I didn't find all. Again, I just did a single playthrough. I wasn't trying to do platinum or anything like that. But
okay, yeah. Yeah,
No, but there
going
was,
for all the trophies extends the playtime by like another 2 hours.
yeah, The Bluey movie looks interesting. I will say I hate that Disney is so against 2D animation style. Like it really
Oh
upsets
yeah, I
me
saw that they went 3D for
deeply.
this.
Yeah, it's 3D for it. It doesn't look bad. Like I'm pulling it up just to be like it's good. Like I love Bluey, so getting to see more Bluey, like I'm super hyped for it. I know
Bluey gets
Sam.
surprisingly real sometimes. Like they deal with
It
mature
really
shit.
does. It's like really, it gets heavy at times, and that's why I like it. Is like it just there's a lot of parallels of without kids realizing that there's a whole separate storyline
Like it's never
that is
outright stated.
resonating.
It's never
Yeah,
outright stated. It's heavily alluded to, but I'm pretty sure their mom had a miscarriage at some point in her life.
yeah. Like I just so like I'm excited for the Bluey movie. Uh, I like X-Men. I enjoyed watching the original movies, but I only watched the first three. Like I didn't watch like Phoenix movie or Days of Future Past or anything. Like I never got.
The first three aren't the best examples, but to be fair, but
Yeah, and so like that's why like I like there's so many people I know that are like big X-Men fans, and I'm like, I mean, I like Wolverine. Like Wolverine's cool, Jean Grey is
Logan was a
cool,
solid
Rogue's
movie.
cool, Storm is really cool. Like I really like Storm's character a lot, but like there's nothing like there's nothing that's like I'm like, oh, I'm super hyped on this movie or anything like that. It was saying it. I'm like, I mean, like without saying anything, for spoiler purposes, like I knew this movie was coming, and so yeah, I don't know. Hex kind of looks cool. I'm curious to see what that is going to look more like. I don't know. I normally don't really pay a whole lot of attention to D23 just because I don't follow I don't follow the mouse on things these days. I used to like religiously, but it's really just Kingdom Hearts at this point. Like and so like for me, like yeah, naturally like the 4 trailer and the animated series I was not expecting in the slightest bit. So seeing that come up like that just like man, I can't wait to get on my ship and take to the high seas and watch the ever living crap out of that. And I will, and I appreciate everything that you, you guys are doing over at Disney. Um, very unsurprising to see Lilo and Stitch 2. Um,
Oh yeah,
we yeah, very very unsurprising, but clearly just based off of the character that they had teased into it of Angel, like clearly they're like just like whatever original story that you thought, let's throw that out. Like let's just get rid of all that. Um, and so like I saw that and I'm like it's gonna be another bowl of slop and not in the good kind of way.
well, I mean,
Like
of course,
the
it's a live action remake, not a live action original story. Like,
I know, I know. Like I still just get mad when I think about Ohana means ditch your family and
yeah, they
see
fucked
how
up
many
that
times
remake.
see how many times we can plug the U.S. Marines into the conversation. Um, it's just, I'm fine. But again, like I'm excited for Bluey. Coco 2, I am excited about because I really love the first Coco movie. I mean, I'm a sucker for Pixar in general. Like
God, that
if I
first
see
movie had
Pixar,
me crying. I have a feeling I'm gonna cry again during the Kingdom Hearts
oh yeah,
level. Like it's the
oh I'm sure, Like
like just based on
when
that
they,
trailer, they're already doing the sad shit. Like it literally
oh
opens
yeah,
with it.
no, and that's the thing. Like, anytime I see the phrase Pixar, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to cry. This will be awesome. Like
Well,
every time I see Pixar,
most of those upcoming Disney movies that we only have like a name for and like not just like the idea of a concept, most of those are Pixar movies, like not Disney.
yeah.
Like that one about
Oh,
the one about the
like
ghost
Ghost
town,
Market. Yeah,
and Clay, those are all Pixar movies,
yeah.
which I'm Ghost Town has me excited. I like shit about
I
ghosts.
thought it
I'm curious to
was.
see
Is
what
it
that
Ghost
is.
Town or is it Ghost Town or Ghost Market?
I think Ghost Town. Ghost Town is what it's
Is
called.
it okay? Um, but
I could be
anyways,
wrong.
let me see. D23 Ghost Market. It is Market. Ghost Market. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ghost
Yeah.
Market. Okay.
But anyways, but yeah, no, Coco, Kingdom Hearts, more Kingdom Hearts, and tempered expectations, but I am excited for Bluey.
Yeah, so oh god, I can't wait till we get to the book clubs for that one. That we have so much to discuss. It's gonna start off simple and clean,
Oh, I know.
and then it's
Oh
gonna,
my god! All
and then
right, all
it's gonna
right.
get really complicated after a while.
I think it's appropriate to end this episode on your terrible, simple and clean joke. Oh my god!
Yeah, and the first game is by
Oh
far the
man.
easiest one to explain. After that, it's all downhill. Oh well. Anyways, though, yeah, that'll be it for this episode. This was fun. I had a lot of fun with this
It
one.
was. This is a very fun one. I had a great time with this one as well.
Whew, that was a end of the week refresh that I needed. I didn't mention it earlier, but like I basically took PTO for the rest of this week and took like a paid
Well,
half week vacation. So
oh yeah. Enjoy it, man.
yep, and then starting tomorrow, it's the new job, and then we'll see. I don't know what next week looks like yet. I'll find out tomorrow. So,
Sounds good. I look forward to it, man.
but alrighty, folks. Thank you all so much for watching and or listening. Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments. You know, leave a like, leave a rating, you know, leave a review, all that fun stuff. And or you can email me at podcastoversoul@gmail.com or find me on the socials at oversoul53. You can find him on Instagram and TikTok at Brooksy my boy with an I. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Good night.
Later.